Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to my channel, where today I'm doing something entirely different. Although I've been doing a lot of history lately, this one's a very interesting journey for me. I am visiting New Hampshire's old town pounds. Yes, you heard me. Town pounds. What are the town pounds? Well, during colonial times in the late 1700s, early 1800s, most New Hampshire communities put up these stone enclosures with gates, and during those days when the farmers' farm animals would get away, they would be brought to these pounds, and at the pounds they'd be held until such time as the farmer could come and pay the necessary fine to retrieve their animal. Now, these were a big deal back in the 18th and 19th century, but as time went on, this sort of practice ended. However, all around New Hampshire, there are remnants of these town pounds, and some of them are just piles of stone, and you have to go looking for them. Others are marked as historical sites, might even be on the historical register, and I'm going to be traveling around to different towns of New Hampshire and checking a few of them out. I probably won't get to all of them. In fact, for one of the reasons is I don't know where all of them are. There are probably at least 100 of them in New Hampshire, but I'll give you a good taste of a bunch of them around the state. How's that? So why don't you stick around? I'm really looking forward to sharing this little adventure with you. Welcome to Sutton, New Hampshire. And this appears to be the site of the old Sutton Town Pound. It's definitely a square enclosed area of some kind, made of rocks. Right here up front you can see a wooden plank which may have at one time been on top of a gateway of some kind. No gates here. Now I'm also on a dirt road, and this dirt road is called Pound Road, so that makes sense that this is the actual site. And part of the reason I'm guessing is because, well, I lost my GPS signal. This is really a rural area of New Hampshire. I mean, it's not far when you really think about it. It's about, I don't know, half hour or so from Concord, perhaps, and from New London, maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes, something like that, I'm guessing. Both of those areas are somewhat populated. Of course, they're not rural like this, but this is definitely a rural area, so my GPS kicked off. So let's take another look here and see what I can see. As I said, this makes sense that this is the Sutton Town Pound, or was the Sutton Town Pound. Here's another angle of the Sutton Town Pound. I had to watch where I was stepping because there was a whole bunch of poison ivy right near where I was planning on shooting this video. So I'm shooting from the outside to be on the safe side so I don't step into some poison ivy. But there we go. The Sutton Town Pound. If you're facing it, this would be the right side of what used to be the pound. I'm at the Salisbury Town Pound, and you can see the sign, established 1794. This appears to be on private property. There's a house right next door. This is all decorated for America's 250th. Now, there's not a whole lot of this one left, I don't think. Who knows how high it might have been. I suppose I could find old records and figure out how tall this one was. It's right at the intersection of Whittemore Road and Center Road here in Salisbury, New Hampshire, which is just a little ways off of Route 4. This one's been, someone really likes to decorate this one, I guess you might say. All kinds of flowers around this one. Mind my finger, sorry. Goes right up against this clump of trees. Continues under there a little bit. I'll step close. Gotta watch out for poison ivy when it gets to places like this. So this one is not quite as preserved, I guess you might say. It's marked, obviously. Here's just a slightly different angle of the town pound. Looks like there was a big tree in the middle of it at one point that was taken down. I don't know if that was there at the time that the pound existed, or it grew up at some point after the pound was stopped being used. See that big trunk? Good sized tree that must have been too, with a trunk that wide. Ah, yes. And that is the Salisbury Town Pound. I am in New London, New Hampshire, and I'm looking for the old town pound. It's supposed to be around here somewhere, but nothing is marked. I have found a stone wall, but you find those everywhere in New Hampshire. And then there's something up here, up the road just a piece, that looks like it could have been the remnants of something square, like a town pound. And that would be over here, I think, which is what it looks like. It could be here. I mean, this looks like it has some possibility. This looks like it has some possibility. This big stone seems a little different than the other stones through here. Oh, guess I've annoyed a dog at someone's house. So you can see here, this goes down a little ways. It's all grown in, of course. You can't really tell. And there's no marking. But according to Google Maps, it's supposed to be right here. So that's... we all have to rely on Google, right? It knows all, right? So I'm presuming that this is what's left of the New London Town Pound in New London, New Hampshire. This is Andover, New Hampshire, and supposedly the town pound is on this dirt road somewhere, Chase Hill Road. I drove the whole length of it, and this is the closest thing I could find to what might have been the town pound, although this could also have been an old cellar hole. It's not marked or anything. Obviously it's all filled with water. I've irritated a dog in the house behind me, so he's barking away, but that's okay. It's to be expected sometimes. Now this road, this could be it. This, I don't want to say for certain. This one's only just going to be a short video, and if it is, well, I found it. If not, it might be a good place for someone who does a little treasure hunting in the woods to bring their metal detector, because who knows what treasures could be found here. Some old coins or things like that, who knows. But anyway, short video, and this could be pretty much anything. Here is the Loudon, New Hampshire Town Pound, and you can see it was established in 1774, 2 years before the United States declared independence. And this one is well grown over with ferns. I'll walk up a little bit. I just got to watch out for poison ivy. But let's take a look and see what it looks like. This one does not have any kind of fencing in place. It's a pretty good sized stone wall, though, compared to some I've seen. This one's got to be at least 7 feet tall, stone wall. Let's see. Let's see if I step on any snakes or anything back in here, or ticks or whatever. All right, so we're inside. We're actually inside the pound itself. And very overgrown, of course, as I mentioned. And there's a house way out there behind this. This is on the edge of a dirt road. Youngs Hill Road in Loudon, New Hampshire. So this has got a nice tall wall, so the animals that were brought into here to be picked up by their owners didn't have as much of a chance to get out of here. Some of them are much shorter than this one. All right. And there we go. And as you can see, there's the dirt road out there. I am at the site of the old Pembroke Town Pound on Pembroke Hill Road in Pembroke, New Hampshire. Don't really know the history of this one as far as when it was built, but like all the others that I've visited, this one obviously is a bunch of stone walls with a nice little space within to hold the animals. And as you know, some of these town pounds still have the old steel gates attached. This one does not. A little overgrown. Of course, there's a lot of houses near here. There's one literally across the street, and behind the woods here, you might be able to see it. All right. There you have it. The old Pembroke Town Pound. Welcome to the Concord, New Hampshire Town Pound. Taking a second between the cars to get over to a closer look at this one. Now, Concord is actually a city, although this is called the Town Pound. As you can see, it was incorporated in 1830. It's up on a hill, and this is actually Route 3. That's what's known as on the maps. I think it's actually North State Street. This is one of those town pounds that still has a gate on it. As you can see, I'm hoping. So, this one you can look down into it, unlike some of the others I've been to, where you have to see it from the road. This one you can look down into. Very busy road. So anyone who drives by will see this one. Alright. So it's a pretty good sized one. But of course Concord has always been larger than some of the towns I've been to with town pounds. Alright. Not much to see. This one, of course, uses, whereas this one has a stone wall. It's a good sized one. Height, maybe 6 feet tall or so. But it also has the hillside that was used as well to kind of keep the animals in as well that would be taken here. So there you go. Shot this way. Concord, New Hampshire Town Pound, 1830. I'm on Arrowhead Drive in Bow, New Hampshire, looking for the Old Bow Town Pound, and according to Google Maps, the Know All Sees All GPS guidance system, this is it. But it doesn't look like a whole lot is here. Looks like there was some kind of a stone wall here at some point. I don't see anything kind of reminds me of a square enclosed type shape, but this is supposedly where it was. There's this little one over here. This I think is a private residence. I don't know if that was part of the old town pound. This particular stone wall is a little higher than the rest, or if it's something that the residents put in place. It's very possible because it goes up the driveway a little bit. So, I'm going to take my best guess and say this is where the Bow town pound could have been. No markers. Obviously, this is considered the historical district. Actually, a mile or so down the road is considered the historical district in Bow, so it makes sense that this is a place where it might be. There's a nice old cemetery out there. Bow, New Hampshire. It's where the intersection of Interstates 89 and 93 meet up. So, and this is just off exit 1 of 89. So, big question mark. This may or may not be the remnants of the Bow town pound, but if it is, well then, there you have it. Welcome to Auburn. And it's really hard to see, but there, about 20 feet off the main drag in this heavily wooded area, is what's left of the Auburn town pound. If you look down, you can see it kind of going in there. I don't think I can get much closer because this is so full of poison ivy. I mean, it's so obvious here. So, this is where the town told me it was located. I had to ask someone from the town hall because it's really difficult to see. I just knew it was here on Route 121. But these rocks designate what's left of the Auburn town pound. Not very exciting to the eye, but there's history here. Welcome to Sandown and the Sandown Town Pound. It's even dated 1793, which was during the administration of our first president, George Washington. And this is really nicely preserved. Still has a gate on it. And the stone wall seems to be fairly stable. And this one is also recognized by the state of New Hampshire, the New Hampshire State Register of Historical Places. So this is a nice one. It looks like it's almost on private property. There's a house exactly to the left of this gate. And I don't know, but if you look back there, it does have the old meeting house. So this whole property may be owned by the town. But anyway, let's take a look at this. This is on Fremont Road in Sandown, and I'd say these stones have got to be roughly 5 feet tall, maybe closer, not quite 6 because I'm 6 feet. So here comes a car down the road. You hear that for a second. But anyway, this is a nicely preserved one. It's even mowed and everything inside. I mean, it's really nicely done and nice condition. I'm not going to step inside, even though if you look at it, there's just a little strap holding it together. I suppose if I wanted to, I could get in there, but I'm not going to bother. So let's take a little walk around the side and see what else this has to offer. This was a nice one. I'm impressed with this one. Sort of like the one in Concord is still in good condition. So, well, it looks like some of the stones are kind of fallen down on this side a bit, but it still seems to be pretty sturdy. Can't help but to wonder where these stones were taken from to build this and how many people were involved with actually building this. It's fascinating to me. This is all fascinating to me. So, a really nice town pound here in Sandown. Welcome to Hampstead, New Hampshire, and this one is way off the beaten track. Holy smoke. It looks like the Hampstead Town Pound says circa 1756. Looks like the local Boy Scouts troop, Troop 33, have been trying to preserve this to some degree. But as you can see, there's a lot of, I'm concerned about walking too close to this one because there may be poison ivy, poison oak, snakes, ticks, that kind of thing all out there. But let me see how close I can get and get some imagery of this one. Obviously this one is what remains, because you can see that the rocks are only maybe 3 feet off the ground, and that would not have held the animals in. But just to think, now that we're out in the woods now, but just think, years ago this was probably an open area where the farmers would come to pick up their stray animals and the like. And let's see if I can get in here carefully without running into any dangerous plants or anything like that. Let's see what I can do. Yeah, just walk carefully. Okay. Let's see how close I can get to this. Wow. So how long does it take for poison ivy to take effect? Maybe I'll find out tomorrow. I'm scratching and itching and all marked up. But here it is, in the woods. There's some private property behind me. You could hear a dog barking. I mean, this is really amazing. Yeah, this one's really abandoned, but still kind of amazing. And I'm glad the Boy Scouts have made an effort to try to preserve this. The Hampstead Town Pound. This is Atkinson. And if you look to the right, you can see the sign, the Atkinson Town Pound, 1788. Well, at least we had signed the Declaration of Independence by then. The Revolutionary War was over by then, but the Constitution was yet to be signed. And this is a very well preserved one. Very good condition. I don't see a marker for anything on the historical, it's a historical marker. I gotta try to zip across the street because this is a Route 121 in Atkinson, New Hampshire, which is very close to the Massachusetts border and can actually be busy. And there you go, look at that top stone, 1788, erected 1788. And again, the sign, just a close-up of it, is right here, the Atkinson Town Pound. So, it's right next to a Fuhrer lumber company. I'm not sure who maintains this, but whoever does has done a real nice job with it. Let's see if I can get in here. Unlike some of the places I've been, where there's lots of poison ivy, this seems fairly cleaned out. But again, the street is very busy. So let's kind of step up on this one. Take a look inside. Ah, yes. Now this one may be, for the most part, in its original shape. It did have the gate up front. These rocks are probably more than 6 feet tall. There's a chipmunk way over there. You might be able to see him. He might be washed out by the sunlight. A few trees have grown up in here, of course, but what do you expect? They're 250 years old almost. Here we are at the gate, close up, and it's enough off the road where I can kind of look inside and get a shot from this angle. This gate is actually open. You can actually walk in. They probably don't want you to, but I'm going to anyway. So, take a look in here. Some trees have grown up, of course, but you know, this is a well-preserved one, a very well-preserved town pound, Atkinson, New Hampshire. Congratulations to who's ever keeping this one in good shape. I've done these visits over the course of a few days in the summer of 2026 and barely touched the surface of the various town pounds around New Hampshire. Mostly stayed to the southern part of the state. They have a lot of them in the northern part of the state too. But it's been an interesting adventure, and it's very interesting to see how some of these are in such good condition, while others are just nothing but a pile of rocks. So I guess that'll do it for now. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you again some other time with another interesting historical adventure.